everything you see here I have gotten from the dollar store. The most expensive thing that you are going to get if you can find most of your supplies at the dollar store is the ribbon. Sometimes you can find dollar store ribbon, especially if you go around the seasons. And other times you might have to go to Walmart or Joann Fabrics, Michaels, that sort of thing, and spend a little bit more. So ribbon's probably going to be your most expensive thing if you don't go all out and add decorative items to your wreath. But I got these wire rings. 14-inch is what I am using. So for this, I am using the 6-inch, 5 yards decorative mesh, and I got 3 colors here. You need 30 yards of mesh to do a 14-inch wreath the way that I am going to do it. You also need pipe cleaners. Now the color doesn't really matter because you're not going to see these later on. This is just to help guide you and keep your mesh in place. And then you're going to need assorted ribbon. Personally, I like to have 2 solid color ribbons that kind of correspond with what I'm going with, and then you're going to need decorative ribbon, which I will show you later. There are so many options. You can choose different widths. Try to stick with 5/8 inch or more. These like the smaller ribbons are more for the spirals that I'm going to show you how to make, but you need thicker ribbon for the decorative pieces that I'm going to show you that kind of adds dimension to your wreath. For a 14-inch ring, you're going to need 12 of these pipe cleaners. What I'm going to do with the 14-inch wreath, like I said, you want 12 pieces. If you're using a bigger frame, you're going to need more mesh, more ribbon, more pipe cleaners. This is just, like I said, an example of how you would do this. You're going to have to adjust for what you have. Go under the 2 bars, like I have here, and you're going to twist and try to keep it in the center, not towards the edge, because you don't want your twist, you kind of want everything to be held towards the center, not towards the end, so you get more of that round effect. For the insides, I keep them around this metal bar here. Then on the edges, between those 2 bars, you are going through the middle here. Finish, you're gonna have this weird looking thing. You can buy wreaths that are already pre-made like this, but you're gonna save money if you just buy the pipe cleaners and do it yourself. So the next thing you want to do is take all of the colors you want to use. For me, it's going to be purple, black, and orange, and you want to make sure you're putting them in the order that you want them. The colors that you put on the outside of your wreath is going to be the more prominent colors. You're going to bunch the ends of each one of these together. So I like to start on the outside of the wreath just because I feel like it's easier to fill in if I make a mistake. So you just put it down on your pipe cleaners, and you're gonna twist in the same direction, trying to stay as tight as you possibly can so it doesn't move on you. And leave that because you're gonna use this later. And then you just turn it. When you're making your poofs, you need to make sure that you're making them as fluffy and full as you want them, because once you put it in there, you can adjust a little bit, but not a ton. So you want to make sure they're kind of going in the direction that you want, that you're seeing all of the color that you want before you are pinning down the next step over here. And you're just going to repeat that process all the way around. Cut the mesh that you don't want to cut, and you just cut off the remaining, and you're left with kind of a knot. Now you're going to do the exact same thing on the inside of your wreath. One tip I will tell you guys is that I prefer to stay standing because I'm constantly looking over my wreath versus, you know, looking at it at an angle that nobody else is going to look at it. Everybody's going to look at it straight on because that's how it's going to be on your door. So if you're looking at it over it, you're getting a more realistic idea of what it's going to look like on your door versus what you're seeing when you're looking at it straight across. So I am going to go ahead and I try to keep my start points at the same section here and here. So I'm going to start here and work on the center and do the exact same thing that I did on the outside, working my way on the inside. Some scraps over here. Save these because you are going to use these as what I call spiral fillers. And that is going to go into each one of these slots where you put the pipe cleaners. So I have decided on kind of the ribbon I was looking for. I got mine at Walmart. I like to use 7/8 inch, and I always get at least 2 pattern ones that are 9 feet long. So you'll need 2 of the pattern kind. For me, I typically just lay it out and I do like a test run to see kind of where I want things. And I think for me, I want the purple on the inside because I feel like there's more orange right here and more purple on this side. Like, you can see how my ribbon is fraying, or at least hopefully you can. This is why I always seal the edges, because you'll fray and then all your hard work will be for nothing, and we don't want to do that. So I'm going to start down here. You're going to take the wires that you have been using and you want to pull that very tight, kind of twist and pull tightly. Okay, and then you're going to again guide the ribbon to where you want it. Now remember, you want to look at this overhead because that's where people are going to see this, you know, when they're looking directly on. So you want to make sure that you're putting it in a place that you're happy with. Okay. And you just kind of guide the ribbon around. Like I said, this is the creative process. This is how you have to set it. I can't really tell you exactly how to do it because everybody's going to find something, you know, prettier than somebody else. Once you get to the end, try to cut your ribbon as close as you possibly can. With that, you are done using these little wires, and then you're going to weave them through down the bottom where they're attached, and then you're going to flip it over and you're going to tighten every single one of those after you've done the ribbon part. So I just go ahead and tighten the ones that have the outside ribbon, and then I'll go ahead and flip it over and do the same for the center ribbon. Alright, so that is the process. If you like it like this, you can just leave it. I would cover those with ribbon if you don't want to go any further than this. But I'm going to show you my next thing that I love, that I feel like just kind of gives it more dimension, more texture, more boom, I guess, for your buck. You need 12 of these spirals. So that's when you're just going to take your other bit and start cutting these spirals, and just make sure you have 12 in each color. So you can see that they already kind of roll for you, and you don't want to use too much. You just want enough that they create a cute little curly cue. And then you just cut a straight line. Then you need 6 of this pattern and 6 of this pattern, or if you get double, so you get 18 feet instead of 9 feet each, get 18 feet each, you can just do 12 of each one of these and then have double the fun, I guess. And then you'll need 12 of whatever colors you want to do, and I'll show you what you're doing here in just a minute, but and then you can decide how many of each you want to put in each spiral and what you want to do with it. I set up an assembly line. I have all of my orange pile, all of my purple pile, all of the black ones. This is going to go and tie my bows, my spiral bows, onto the wreath. So you need a pretty long piece. You'll just have to measure because it's going to vary how long you want your ribbon. Some people like them longer or shorter. Just measure a piece when you go to put it on, snip it, and then cut 12 of those out. Then these are my decorative pieces, all my pink pieces, orange pieces, and then this again is to tie the pieces together. doing with these little spiral bows, is what I'm calling them, is you're just filling in those little holes and covering up your pipe cleaners. So that's pretty much it. You're just adjusting and filling, and this is like the end result. So make sure it is looking the way that you want it to. At this point, you have to decide which is going to be your top and your bottom. So kind of like rotate it and figure out kind of what you like. I usually just hold it up in front of me and kind of spin it around until I find what I like. What I do is I take my two ends and I tie a knot like that. So there's my top. And then I go through here and I just put that through this end, pull. I bought these Halloween clips. These are like glitter moths that I'm going to clip on there. You can put spiders on here, which I might go ahead and grab some out of my stash of spiders. I have tons of them. And stick on here. I'm going to go ahead and unclip these. These are very fragile, so be careful when working with these because I accidentally already ripped a little bit of the wing, but figured that's okay. And then you just kind of figure out where you want to put these on your wreath. And there is what the wreath looks like from far away. I did add the moths. I couldn't find any spiders. I guess my kids took off with them last year. They're not in our Halloween bin anymore. But there you go. There it is. The pop of green. I like it. Some people may not. If you don't like that, just change it. Do whatever you find you like. And hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial, and let me know if you would like to see what I do for fall and future holidays, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye! Sweet, it tastes so sweet.